you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on these DW Performance Series drums. We sell a ton of DW Performance Series drums here at Sweetwater, and we have a great selection. And this particular kit has this beautiful natural finish. It's a satin oil matte finish. Very cool drum. So let's get into all the details about how these drums are made and how they sound. Here at Sweetwater, we sell a lot of shell packs, which are pre-configured sets of drums, toms and kick drums. And we also sell tons of components, so you can make a drum kit up of pretty much any size you want. And that's what I did here. This is not a shell pack. These are sizes that I just kind of picked out for fun. So let me tell you about the sizes I got here. I have a 10 by 8 inch rack tom, a 9 by 13 inch rack tom, 14 by 16 inch floor tom, 16 by 20 inch kick drum. This is a very cool kick drum. And this beauty here, the snare drum I have, is a 6.5 by 13. So really cool sizes. Changed it up a little bit just to kind of get a different vibe and a different feel. And you can do the exact same thing. You can pick whatever size you want and put together a drum kit. Or, like I said, get a pre-configured shell pack. Whatever you want, your Sweetwater sales engineer can totally help you out. The Performance Series of DW drums are their line that bring down the price a little bit so more people can get into the DW quality of sound, construction, looks, all of those things, and it's a great line of drums. The shells are made of 100% North American hard rock maple, which is a fantastic go-to tone wood. Sounds great in the studio, great live, can go anywhere, any style of music. Now, their shells on the Performance Series are the HVX shell construction. What that means is H is horizontal, V is vertical, and X is diagonal. That's how the wood grains lie over the top of each other when they make the shell. And HVX just works really well with the Performance Series line, and with the hardware they use, you get a great sounding set of drums. So now let me get into the sound of the toms on their own. Without the snare wires on, you can hear the warmth and the depth of these drums. Great sounding toms on these drums. Really cool tone interval between each drum. I have them set up with basic Remo-coated ambassador heads. They're 7 plies thick with perfect 45-degree bearing edges, so they're very lively with great punch and depth. Let me put the snare wires back on so you can hear the buzz, on the underneath the sound of the toms. Very cool, very inspiring, and they're very musical. Great tone interval, like I said before, with each drum. Now let's get to this kick drum. The kick drum is 8 plies thick, and I don't play 20-inch kick drums that often, but the 20-inch kick drum in the Performance Series really has great punch and a lot of low end for a 20-inch drum. This is 20 by 16. Beefy and just punchy. I have a Remo Power Stroke 3 on the front side, the beater side. As you can tell, I have a hole in the front side of the kick drum. When you get the drum out of the box, it comes with a head without a hole, but you still get the DW custom pillows on the inside, so there is some dampening when you first get it out of the box. I just prefer to play with a kick drum with the hole in the front. I like the air to move through, and you get a really great punchy sound with this setup. Let me put the snare wires back on. Really cool kick drum sound. Now let's move to the snare drum. The snare drums are 10 plies thick, same 45-degree bearing edges. Head sits on perfectly, and this is a killer sounding, cracky snare drum. 13s are a fun size because it's just that 1 inch smaller of diameter from the normal 14. Just gives you a little bit of a, I don't know, high-end crack to it. You can play all kinds of styles of music with this, but if you play any kind of fast-paced music, like ska or just fast pop or, you know, kind of heavy, punky rock and roll, killer snare drum for that style of music. Let's get into it. It's loud but sensitive. I can play it quietly out to the edge, and I can play it loud right in the middle with a nice big fat backbeat. Now with the snare wires off, it has a great tone as well, and it really complements the toms and the kick drum. Check this out. This drum can also be tuned down to a bunch of different levels to get different sounds. So let me tune the drum down and just kind of give you a different vibe of where this drum can go and how it'll fit with the rest of the drums. So now I've brought the snare drum down, I don't know, about halfway. I do this little trick where I loosen the center lug, which is right in the center of my body, almost all the way off, and the 2 lugs just to either side of that one, about halfway down, while the rest stay at their regular tuning. And it just gives it kind of a dead sound that almost sounds like it has a bunch of dampening on it, but it has no dampening at all. And it's cool for funk and R&B grooves, sort of like this. Very musical and a lot of fun to play. And again, I only have basic Remo-coated ambassadors on the drums right now. These drums would do killer with any kind of double ply head like a pinstripe, an Emperor, a G2, anything like that would warm up the drums, you know, deaden them up a little bit and give you completely different tones. So again, you could take these drums in all kinds of different places. All right, now let's get into the hardware that come on the Performance Series drums. Very cool hardware. You get the DW Mini Turret lug. It's just a small version of their regular big turret lug. But they do come with the same STM tom suspension system. Killer suspension system, very easy to use. The toms hang freely and resonate and do their thing. It's just very cool. For the snare drum, it comes with the fantastic mag throw-off system. So easy to use. I'm a big fan of this particular strainer just because it's so easy and it stays in place. You can adjust the snare wire tension right on the back side of it. Just a very cool, nice innovation. You also get the DW True Pitch tuning rods. There's like tons more threads on their tuning rods than on a normal tuning rod, so you can really dial in the sound and it stays in tune for as long as you want. I have some very nice Peisty cymbals set up on the kit today. Beautiful sounds, all from the Signature line. Over here I have some Dark Energy hats, 14 inches. Right here I have a 17-inch Dark Energy crash, also a 19-inch Dark Energy crash on my right side. A 20-inch Precision ride, beautiful sounding ride, nice and washy but precise and just has a nice musical tone to it, and an 18-inch thin China. Nice and washy, really complements the crash cymbals really well. As far as the recording of the drums goes, I have some different mics today to tell you about, and they're really nice and affordable, and you can get some great sounds out of these things. From Shure, I have a set of PGA 181s for the overheads, and I have a PGA 52 in front of the kick drum. Nice, again, affordable mics that sound great. They come in packs, and you can also buy them individually, so I definitely encourage you to check those microphones out. And for the room mics, I'm trying today beautiful microphones from Mojave. They are MA100s. Killer mics for not only recording room sound for drums, but also overheads. You can put them close to drums, acoustic guitars, all kinds of different settings for the MA100 from Mojave. Beautiful microphones. Definitely encourage you to check out all of these here. Everything's going into my Antelope Zen Studio interface and then on into Pro Tools, and that's how you're hearing the drums. There you have it, everybody. The DW Performance Series drums. Beautiful drums in this great natural satin oil finish. Killer looking drums. They sound great. They play great any style of music in the studio live, and definitely encourage you to check them out. If you want any more information about this particular DW series of drums or any other DW product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks a lot for watching.